another video. My name is Zamir, and today I'll be demonstrating how you can purchase a trade permit within your Camden account. So first thing is that once you sign into your Camden account on the main website, you're going to need to select parking on your account where it has the list of services. Once you've selected parking inside the account, you'll be presented with this page, which shows you three boxes: visitor permit, resident permit, trade permits. So for this video, we're going to select trade permits. And here, once you've selected that, you'll see this gold box here that says add a permit in order to book a trade permit session. So we're going to select add. And then here, it's going to ask you where the work is taking place. So where would you like the trade permit to be placed for? So the thing with trade permits is that they can be booked for any address within Camden. That's specifically for trade permits. So in this instance, we're going to put a demo postcode. So, and then we're going to put the numbers of the address. Make sure when you put the numbers, it's just them solely, not followed by any letters, because then it may not bring up that on the results page. So we'll just put the number of the property, click find address, and here you can see it presents the number based on the address along with the letters. So if it's AB, you would just then select it accordingly here. So in this case, we'll select A, for example. And then here, it demonstrates where the trade permit can be used and what it can be used for. So it can be used to park in resident permit bays or on single yellow lines with no curb markings. So for this demonstration, I've put the below address and it assigns it to this controlled parking zone. So that means you can park in resident permit bays based on the zone of the address and or on single yellow lines, but with no curb markings. And then if we scroll down, it gives you the control parking zone and it gives you the hours that there's enforcement in place. And then also it will provide you the parking where it says free parking outside of these hours. But here it shows you the enforcement period of when parking permits are required. So if you're happy with the address, then you click next. And then on the next page, it's going to ask you to confirm the vehicle registration number of the vehicle that you would like the trade permit to cover. So again, we're going to put this one just for demonstrating and then click find a vehicle. And it brings up this vehicle with the make attached to this vehicle registration number. If you're happy with that, you select next. And then here it will bring up the permit start date. So on this page, you'll need to select on the calendar here when you would like the permit to start from. So for example, if we select we want it to start from tomorrow, the 14th, and then it will say how long you would like the permit to last for. So a trade permit covers the whole day. So depending on how long you require it for, the duration, if we select the 14th until the 15th, and then scroll down, and then that would say here a duration of 2 days. As we selected, we wanted it to be carried out from the 14th and the 15th. So that would be 2 days. And here it highlights the total cost for the trade permit. So it's £43.31 per day. And as I selected a 2-day duration, that would be the total cost to pay. So once you're happy with that, you would then select the box here that says next. And then here it would say select a reason for the permit. So it gives a different list here of options to choose from. If none of these apply, then you can select the box here that says other, none of the above. If we select that, and then select next after, here it gives you the summary page before proceeding. So it gives you the address and the control parking zone assigned to that address of where you're going to be using the trade permit. If you're happy with that, And then along with the vehicle details in terms of the vehicle registration number, if we go down even further, it shows the start date and the end date and the duration of the trade permit, and then the total cost that would be required to be paid. If we are then happy with all these details, you'll then click I agree with the terms and conditions. And then on the next page, you'll be presented with the payment page where it will ask you to input your card details in order to proceed with payment. So as this is an internal page, it wouldn't apply. You wouldn't see this here, but for the sake of the demonstration, this is what you would then see after you successfully make the payment. This would then pop up and say payment successful. It would give you a reference number for that permit, explaining that it's been approved and that a confirmation email has been sent. So if we click return to trade permit dashboard, you can see here under trade permits now, it has a permit reference for the one we've just booked. If we click here on the arrow, this little drop down menu shows you now what is in place for the trade permit for this address, for this assigned control parking zone to that address. What is the vehicle registration number for the permit? And it shows you the start date and end date of the permit.